Hey, there you are.
Yeah! Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to another edition of On a Couch Talking Sports. As always, I'm Robbie. Kyle is here. Kyle, how are you tonight, buddy?
Doing all right, how about you?
Doing well. It's another beautiful late spring, getting close to officially summertime here.
Yeah, we're like days away.
Yeah, literally Sunday, longest day of the year. So very, very excited about that. Always a fun time of year. And speaking of fun, I know, segues. So tonight's episode is going to be a little bit different in the sense that Kyle's actually going to sort of take the lead on tonight's episode because this episode was sort of his idea, his brainchild, as we like to call it. And so it's a really, really cool idea. It's a really, really cool episode. And because he thought of it, and just sort of change it up. Sometimes, you got to change it up a little bit. Throw a little curveball in there every once in a while. We decided it'd be fun for Kyle to sort of take the lead on tonight's episode. So, Kyle, let me not waste any more time here. Toss it over to you. And what are we going to be discussing tonight?
All right, so tonight, so I wanted to talk about sports that you could play with your pets. And I'm thinking, we can kind of talk about mainly, I'm thinking maybe we can kind of go over, more common pets. I don't think, I'm not going to say, I'm not going to throw goldfish in the mix because it's going to be a little tricky. I don't think I can
Nobody's
see
pet
goldfish.
aardvark or something like that.
Or just, super exotic ones,
No pet dragons for this episode.
Yeah, I wish we could do pet dragons, but unfortunately... fantasy.
Yeah. Not realistic.
Or dinosaurs, they were real.
Yeah.
And just
thousands of years ago.
So yeah, we were thinking of, and I think we'll definitely go back and forth. I'm thinking we can kind of go by each pet, and I think I'll just throw a pet out there, and Robbie and I will just kind of take turns, and we'll decide what sports that we think we can play. And full disclosure. So I figured this would be a very interesting episode because Robbie doesn't have any pets at the moment, and I have a cat myself. So I figured it'd be interesting to kind of talk about one who is not one who's never really owned a pet versus one who has. So I think there'd be kind of two different fun angles on this. So yeah. So Robbie, I'll start with you. I think we'll start with. We'll speak. Actually, now that we mentioned with cat, I think I'll just segue right into. What do you think the best sport would be to play with a cat?
Ooh, best sport to play with a cat. That I feel like that's the toughest one because cats are kind of short in stature, so it's some of the sports you would think of for maybe dogs or other animals Oh man. Sport you could play with a cat.
Now, mind you, a lot. I'm sure most of these sports would probably take the cat training. So I figured there.
I'm gonna say, all right, I got one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say baseball because I say that because cats like to chase after those yarn balls and stuff like that, and roll those yarn balls around. I feel like maybe they could feel the baseball, like a yarn ball. I don't know. I'm kind of grasping at straws here for the cats because this is a kind of a tough one. Maybe curling because they just sort of push things and cats just kind of push things.
Oh my God, Robbie! I think you're actually really nailing this. I never would have ever thought to switch the baseball to a yarn ball, but you're right because they do like chasing after them. Yeah, you're right. If you throw them in the air and stuff, and pretty much anything like that, any kind of soft material kind of thing, they just love. You're right. You throw it and they're gonna kind of run after it. So yeah, you could probably play a version of baseball with that.
Yeah, it's sort of curling just because they like to kind of push around those yarn balls and stuff like that. So
yeah, they love doing that. They love actually kind of hitting things back and forth and stuff like that.
So maybe tennis. like
Maybe.
I don't know, volleyball, like something like that. You brought up
Mm.
hitting stuff back and forth, so that's kind of what I got. I don't know. What do you
Mm-hmm.
think? What do you think?
No, I think you nailed it. I mean, it's funny. I didn't have a. Cats are tricky
Yeah,
because unless you train them, you can't really play anything with them off the bat like certain other pets.
no
'Cause
pun intended for baseball.
yeah. um, with cats, cats are so interesting. Because they're a lot of times they're very much about themselves.
I guess there's a question: do you count fishing as a sport?
Yes.
So then fishing would be like the number one because
Yeah.
cats love fish and stuff like that. So
Yeah. No.
they're not big fans of water, but you don't have to go in the water to fish. I feel like
No, that's true. I mean, you put them on like either a piece of land or like a
yeah,
very, very, very secure boat or something like that. Something
yeah,
on the water that they know that they're not going to fall in.
right.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. All they need is just like their paw. They just know how to like scoop it out.
Yeah, right out there. It's like going. Whoop.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, cats are very quick. I would actually say one of the ones they'd be super good at is sprinting, like in track and field, because they can go fast.
True.
Like when they see a mouse, you give them something to chase, they're gonna go after it. So I would say actually sprinting might be one of the best ones, as long as you you give them a reason to run, because they're not gonna run if you just say, "Okay, cat, run." They're not gonna do that
No.
because they don't care about what you have to say. So you want to give them a reason to run. So I think that personally would be, I think, my one of my top ones. But I think the ones that you had were really good too. So
Yeah.
Fishing, I think you nailed it with that.
Just kind of pulling stuff out of my butt there, but thank you, appreciate it.
No, it's all good. And so I'm thinking we can move on to the next one then. And the next one is dogs. I figured this would be a little easier than cats, at least.
Yeah.
So, what do you think about dogs?
Well, and this is sort of specific to one dog, and also because I used to watch those Air Bud movies growing up. Football, because dogs love to fetch and love to catch things, and football is all about catching and stuff like that. And Air Bud, even in one of the movies, played football. I also would say maybe like baseball again, just sort of the whole fetching thing.
Yeah.
Any sports involve like balls and stuff like that, I feel like dogs would be okay at because they fetch. Although maybe not tennis or golf, just because they probably couldn't really hold or swing the rackets or putters or clubs or stuff like that. So
I mean, I feel like with tennis though, you could kind of play with them, but you would have to modify the game very much.
Right.
So if you hit the ball with a racket, then the dog would probably have to catch. Just like you just have to do like a catch and like go receive the ball, and then or the dog can bring the ball back to you and you can do it again. Like you hit the ball, dog can try to catch it, kind of thing.
Right.
It wouldn't be like a full game of tennis, but
No.
you could do something kind of along those lines, I think.
I think the big one for dogs, and Kyle will appreciate this, is track. Because I mean, we all know how dogs love to run. Like, I don't think I've ever met a dog that doesn't like love to run, like full speed after like anything. So I feel like dogs and track would be like the perfect sort of match made in heaven. And also wrestling, because dogs always have to like wrestle with each other and stuff like that, and sort of like play around, tussle, stuff like that. So I think wrestling like MMA, like something like kind of like a wrestling MMA type thing would be like right up their alley for sure.
Same thing with actually. I'm gonna throw cats back in the mix really quickly because I'm gonna say cats are also very good at wrestling.
True. Yeah.
Having two cats growing up, that they did that a lot. Sometimes to the point of the other cat would get really mad at the other cat type of deal. But yeah, they would.
They weren't necessarily like playing anymore. They were literally full on fighting.
Yeah, pretty much. And also the other thing actually, I didn't even think about this with cats too. They could climb. So any form of climbing, not rock climbing, I don't think, but like any form of climbing and like kind of outdoor activities. Like they'd be super good at. My cat, I had this one cat who could like climb the screen door. She could climb all the way to the top. It was crazy.
Oh, so maybe like gymnastics or something like that for both cats and dogs. Yeah.
Yeah, because they can both jump really high.
Yeah.
Yeah, gymnastics they could do. Maybe not like hang on the bar gymnastics, but like
No, but like even like I don't know. They always like to dogs always like to like roll over and stuff like that. So
yeah, dogs can definitely kind of do the more like floor
oh,
type of
dogs swimming.
gymnastics.
Like I
I
know.
was just thinking that too. Yeah,
Dogs
that was one of
swimming.
mine.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's perfect. No, that's a great segue actually. Yeah, I was thinking the swimming as well. You're right because cats hate swimming, so you don't ever want to have them throw in the water.
No,
But
no. Do not put a cat in the water.
no, but dogs, yeah, you're right. Like they can, that's where you get the term doggy paddle because that's what they do. You just kind of do this, and I mean, there you go. Yeah, swimming's a no-brainer. The other thing with cats is actually because cats can also like go on like surfaces too. They can also specifically, if they do gymnastics, they can do like balance beam stuff because they're very good at balancing and like. I'd even actually give them too the other event, the high jump in track because they can jump so high.
Oh
They can
yeah.
just jump up if we can try to get them to jump over that bar, and onto the mat and stuff like
They
that.
they could probably do it. I mean, some dogs probably could too, but definitely cats could
Yeah.
complete that for sure.
Oh yeah, and no, you're right. Actually, I didn't even think about that too. But you're right. There are a lot of dogs that can jump, like even if they're like on the bigger side of things, they can definitely jump really high too. So there you go.
Good stuff.
Yeah, I think so. I think we pretty much covered dogs. They can even. I'd even go as far as say they can probably even play like soccer if they really wanted to.
Yeah, because they kind of push the ball along, kind of
Mm-hmm.
just push it into the net. Yeah.
Yeah, because they're used to like and don't they do that too? Like I don't know who's like a full time dog owner on this who's watching tonight, but like don't dogs sometimes also like push things like the soccer balls with their head too?
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they definitely like to like sort of like nudge things along and like push.
Yeah. Okay, that got random.
Oh yeah.
Anyways,
Apologize for that 5 seconds that you guys can't get back.
So yeah. Otherwise, I'm trying to think of other. It's kind of tricky because I know we kind of went through the main pets. Well, fish actually. I mean, any kind of fish should just automatically.
There's one other one that I want to bring up, and that's horses. Because horses and polo, like people ride horses literally to play polo. So
that's true.
I just feel like I'd be remiss if we're talking about animals and pets if I didn't mention that.
Yeah, that's a good point. And track. I mean, essentially.
Oh yeah, horses and track. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're born to run.
Exactly. Well said. Just like Bruce Springsteen would.
Yeah,
love it.
I think we came with some good ones.
I think those were pretty good.
We came with some good ones. By the way, if you folks at home have any ideas, for what animals or pets what sports you think animals or pets would be good at playing, definitely feel free to drop us a comment.
Yeah, if there's anything we missed, just let us know, and yeah. Maybe we can even maybe if you guys bring up some other ideas, maybe we can even make like a part 2 of this. So.
Yeah, love to hear from you.
Yeah.
But no, that was good. That was very good.
Cool.
So we are now going to move on to sort of the end half of our episode, as we always do, and I'm actually going to let Kyle go first for this as well with another rousing edition of the Sue's Reviews. So Kyle, why don't you take it away?
All right, so I wanted to try a different way of reviewing stuff. So, or a new thing to review essentially. So I wanted to review bands, and I wanted to talk about a band that I've actually had in my mind for the past week or so, and that I've loved since early 2000s when they first came out. And that's Franz Ferdinand, and they're honestly one of my favorite bands of all time. And I just love all their. I mean, right now they only have I want to say 5 studio albums altogether, with one actually crossover album, which I'll get to in a second, which is really cool. But they've always had this. They came out during a time when bands like the Strokes were there, when kind of rock was kind of like was really kind of taking like a different turn and kind of making a slight comeback in certain ways. They also were there when I think that was kind of when Three Doors Down was kind of on its way out, and and even like other bands like My Chemical Romance, All American Rejects, all those bands were kind of coming up. It was like the really the big wave of the early 2000s, and of course the Kaiser Chiefs. That's another big one. Um, but Franz Ferdinand really stood out as one of the best just alternative rock bands that I've ever heard. I love their sound. Every album is amazing. Um, I first got into them actually from their second album. You Could Have Done It So much better. But I know everyone's favorite is their self-titled. And yes, just to address the elephant in the room, they did base the name Franz Ferdinand off of the Archduke. Back in the early 1900s, we all know what happened with that. But so yeah, and I was actually going to ask Robbie are there? I don't know how big of a fan of the band you are, but I was going to see if there were any certain songs that really stood out to you, or.
I'm trying to think. Like, sorry, hold on. I'm in the middle of doing a little post here. A little
Robbie's multitasking.
I am. I really am. That's what I do here, people. I am usually not involved in the segment, so Franz Ferdinand. Do I know? Like, I don't even know like what of their stuff. I gotta search my music library to see if I like. I don't know. Like, I don't really know. Like,
they did songs like "Take Me Out." I say you don't know. You remember that one?
Oh yeah, that was a good. Yeah, yep. I know which one you're talking about. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they're. I don't know. I don't really have much to add. Sorry.
No, that's okay. No, I was just asking, see, because it's interesting. I always like to hear people's opinions and like kind of like what songs really stick out for them, even if they're not like super big fans of the band. Whether it's
I mean, the Archduke was pretty historic. I mean, all right.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, but they do have a lot of really good standout songs. They actually didn't get a whole lot of radio time around here. I think they were one of those bands that, because they're from Scotland, so I think they got a lot of radio time back in like
Scots,
the UK.
Great Scott.
Oh yeah, but here it's like they got a couple songs. Like you guys might know them if you just casually listen to the radio. Their two biggest songs I can think of are "Take Me Out" and "Know You Girls." Know you girls, I never know that one. Yeah, sorry, I'm not gonna get into the whole singing. Yeah, we don't want to hear that. So, but aside from those two songs, they just have a whole library of great songs. And also, if you do get into them, I highly recommend checking out their B-sides. Just like look at all their stuff that you can find on iTunes, Spotify. Just look at all their small B-sides. They have a lot of singles and like smaller EPs that they made, and just lots of great songs all over the place. They're just a great band. And I can't wait for the next album. So hopefully they come out with one soon because I'm really. Oh, and last but not least, I did want to talk about their crossover album really quick. So they crossed over with this band called Sparks. They were from the '70s. So it was called FFS, Franz Ferdinand Sparks, very simply titled. And that album is a very interesting listen. If you're into like really out there type of music, I really can't compare this album to anything because it's really its own thing. It's a really great listen. If you're a fan of Franz Ferdinand and or Sparks, or you're just looking for some wacky music to listen to, I highly recommend checking it out. It's very worthwhile. It's a really cool album. So I've been really getting into that one too. So yeah,
you could say that there were sparks on the album.
Good job.
God. No, don't even. Don't even. That was. I apologize already, folks. I really regret that pun.
No, I love it, Robbie. Keep it coming.
All right. So, thank you, Kyle, as always, for that lovely review. So, I'm going to do my pre-show food review. And because Kyle and I went to a place that it had been like years since like the two of us had been there. It's been a long while since I've been there as well. And that place was this place in Needham called Nicholas's. It's a little pizza and sub shop located in Needham Center, just off of Needham Center, and it is really good. I mean, you really can't go wrong there. Whether you get their pizza, their subs, their I don't know, chicken tenders, whatever whatever direction you decide to go there, you're not going to be led astray. I mean, we've been going there for years since even before we started on a couch talking sports, and we've always we've always enjoyed their food and it just again it's a nice sort of little like sort of mom and pop type place. It just like I said, it's always good. No matter what you get, and
nice Greek style food there too. So.
No, I highly recommend it. Again, it's in Needham Center, and definitely should go check them out. So,
yes.
I'm sure. Tonight I got the BLT sub, and Kyle got his favorite cheeseburger sub
with
some fries, which was. I'm sure it was very good as always.
Oh yeah, it was fantastic. I just needed a cheeseburger sub, and that place delivers. Yeah.
So definitely check them out. Again, Nicholas's Pizza in Needham. So, that's going to do it for this week's edition of On a Couch Talking Sports. Thanks as always, everybody, for tuning in, and as always, check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, of course. And until next time, that's Kyle. I'm Robbie. And this is a couch. And we'll see you next time here on the couch when we're talking sports. Bye, everybody.
The unfilmed Nicolas Cage Superman movie that never it was almost going to happen in the late 90s, but never did.
Wow.
Did you ever hear about that?
No.
So it's a crazy story. So Tim Burton was supposed to direct it, and Kevin Smith was supposed to write it.
Yeah.
And they had this whole crazy plan for it. So the producer John Peters. So he apparently talked to Kevin Smith right when they were making the movie. He was like, "All right, I have a laundry list of stuff that we need for the Superman movie."
Yeah.
It's like, first of all, get him out of that costume. He goes, "Give him like a black suit. We need to make him more edgy and dark." And it's like, well, but it's Superman.
It's Superman. He's
good. Not right. So then he's like, and then number 2, I want one of the villains to fight polar bears in the Arctic.
Why?
Yeah, it really has nothing to do with anything, to be honest. And he goes, so apparently then he's like, okay, for the last thing, I want Superman to fight a giant mechanical spider. So
this is the movie that never got made.
Yes, the movie that never got made. Nicolas Cage was supposed to be Superman.
Yeah.
Kevin Spacey was supposed to be Lex Luthor, which actually did happen. That's the only thing that carried on for Superman Returns, the one of the later ones. So he stayed as Lex Luthor.
Okay, and Margot Kidder was something to do with that.
No, that was the Christopher Reeve movie. So I forget, someone else was going to be Lois. Like, it was going to be a younger actress. And then what happened was, so the movie never got made. Nicolas Cage did a bunch of screen tests, and you can actually look online. He's wearing the suit. He's Clark Kent. He's got the long hair. It's kind of funny. It's ridiculous. So then apparently, flash forward to '99. Do you remember that movie Wild Wild West that came out with Will Smith?
No.
Yes. Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
It was a song. There was a song that was played at every dance. Yeah.
Oh yeah. It was all over the radio for that one year.
Yes.
And so apparently, Wild Wild West, which was produced by the same guy, John Peters. Guess what the main villain of the movie was?
Superman.
No, it was a mechanical spider. It was Kenneth Branagh played this handicapped villain because he I guess literally didn't have any legs, so he had mechanical legs. And then he controlled a giant spider walking around in the desert. It was just ridiculous.
Oh my god. Maybe John Peters should have stuck to hairdressing.
I think so.
There was somebody shared something on Facebook, which is somebody's on the phone says, Carl goes, I can't come over and fight a spider right now. Just get a fly swatter and swat it. And then it shows the guy going, we're way beyond that. He's got a gun at the spider, and the spider's on a gun at him.
Dun, 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 dun.
So, here we go.
All right, you ready?
I just it's like it was a cheese. Wow, Robbie. That's very mature of you.
Violence is not the answer.
Yeah, just make the show more violent. Just like have fights every between segments of
Pretty
talking.
much. Pretty much. Yeah.
We need more action in this show, Robbie.
Yeah. Action.
John Peters, come produce the show.
Oh,
More
God.
action. More mechanical
On a
spiders.
couch talking mechanical spiders.
Yes.
Yes.
Exactly.
That's a spin-off.
Or on a couch talking sports next to a mechanical spider.
Oh hell yeah! That's gonna be our next. That'll be our next thing. I like that. There you go.
That's like the Halloween. That's like the Halloween version. Next to a mechanical spider.